Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day one of our 90-day Power Reading Bible Challenge. This is going to be my first video. I'm going to make another video of my insights, and I would encourage you to do the same as well when you've read your portion for the day. But I felt the need to kind of address something. So some of you have reached out to me, and when I say some of you, I mean a couple of people this morning, and I can see that there is a great desire for people who actually really want to read the Word and study the Word. But when they saw the amount of chapters that would be required to be read in a day, for day one, for example, today we're reading from Genesis 1 to Genesis 15, I think a lot of people got overwhelmed, and that's normal. Like, they saw the numbers and they really wanted to do it, and I'm like, there is no space in my life for this at this moment. I can guarantee you that it's easier than you think. So the first time I did a power reading challenge was last year, January 2024. That was when I first came upon the post, the fact, I think randomly, that said that you can complete the whole Bible between 70 to 80 a day to 2 hours. And I remember being mind blown, like, what does that even mean? Like, is this true? And I did research, I saw it was true. And that means that you can literally finish the Bible in just over 3 days, or let's say 4 days at most. Do you see that? I mean, if you do it non-stop. So the first challenge I took on was, not 40 days. The first challenge I took on was 60 days, so 2 months. And we broke it up. I did it with a couple of my sisters, and it was a stretch, but we did it. So this is what I would say, because someone who said their concern was more about what I said about trying not to multitask while you do it. Now, it is not that I'm against multitasking. That's fine if you can do it. But the truth is, many of us think that we can multitask, but we can't. Something among the 2 things that we are doing randomly, or 3 things we are doing randomly, would always suffer. And the reason I was trying to kind of discourage against it, because I multitask, even most times when I'm, reading, especially when I'm using the audio Bible, I do, but I didn't want people to now be in a place where they would relegate this reading session to only when they are doing something. So I didn't want anyone to begin to read this or do this challenge mindlessly, while multitasking. But you can. So as at the time I was doing this challenge last year, that's the 60-day challenge, every morning I used to do a prayer walk where I walked around, my compound or my living room to and through for 1 hour, because I was counting steps. So I needed to do 6,000 to 7,000 steps daily. So I noticed that it took me 1 hour to achieve that goal. So what I started doing when I started the challenge was I layered reading, studying the Word on that walking. So I wasn't just walking, I was listening to the audio Bible while doing that walking. So I literally was doing 2 things. So I was both exercising and reading. Now, because there was nothing else distracting me, you didn't really need to pay attention while walking. Do you get? Especially in a place is kind of safe and secure. So I was able to listen properly while doing that walk. I would encourage that if you do want to layer, I would actually encourage you to layer this reading the Bible, especially when you are listening to the audio Bible version, to layer it on top of something you're already doing. For example, your commute. Anyone who is taking this challenge at this time, I would advise you not to waste your commute. Don't make your commute going to work now be when you are looking through your phone on social media. This would be a very good time to listen to the audio Bible version for the day while you are commuting to work or coming back from work. Do you see? I personally love reading hard copy. So I have my Bible, and I found that I'm faster reading hard copy Bible than the audio version Bible. Do you see? So on average, if you were to read the Bible by yourself, and I am judging for myself, it would take me about 45 minutes in a day to actually read the chapters for the day. Listening to audio Bible, it will take you roughly around 40 to 50 minutes. Now, depending on the version you are reading. I love the NIV version because the reader on YouVersion has this expressive way of talking, so you can tell when his tone has changed, when it has mellowed. You can tell even without you understanding. For someone who probably doesn't understand English language, you might be able to know when what he's saying is being said in anger. Do you understand? So that is why I love to listen to him. But he talks very slow. So if you are listening to the NIV on YouVersion Bible, you might find that it might take you a longer time duration than someone who's listening to another version. Maybe the message, I think the message guy talks fast or something. Like, not so fast, but I mean. So what I did when I noticed that this NIV person talks slower was there's a portion in the app where you can actually increase the speed of what is being said. So I started increasing my own to 1.25. You can do 1.5. Do you see? If you find it's too slow, because I won't lie, the man talks slow. Very good, but talks slow. So maybe you might also want to know that depending on the audio version you are listening to. Now also, if you don't have the huge chunk of time in a day to give for this, I would recommend you break it down. So let's say, for example, you are doing 1 hour. Maybe you are an average slow reader, or that's just the time that you've noticed that it takes you to finish this. I would say break it into 3 chunks of time during the day. 20 minutes during your commute or in the morning, listening to it while you are making your tea or coffee or whatever, things that are not so tasking that it involves your full attention, that you can't hear or you can't pay conscious attention to what is being said. Also during your lunch break, if you have, and then maybe on your commute back or before bed, it is very, very doable. 20 minutes, I can't tell you how many times I've mindlessly scrolled on social media for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you don't even realize the time is going. So it is very doable. So number one, I would encourage you to layer it on something you're already doing. Your commute, your walk from your house to your estate gate, your commute on the bus or while you are driving. I mean, it's audio. You don't need to be watching a video during your lunch break while you're taking coffee, before bed and all that. It is actually absolutely doable. And if you are reading, maybe you're reading you are like me and you love Art Version Bible and you're reading that and you find that, it's, it gets to a point where it's just like you've read a particular phrase 3 times and it's like, this is not here, and you can quickly switch to the audio Bible. That's if you're not an audio Bible person. But if you're an audio Bible person, by all means, and if you find that you're reading a version and it seems you're not getting it, it's too heavy, by all means, switch to another version. I know that this is very doable because I am people who thought they could not do 60 days, completed the Bible in 60 days. And many of them were first timers to actually reading the Bible. And that time I think we committed 1 hour 25 minutes. It was 1 hour 25 minutes. That was the commitment per day. So it is very, very doable. So I pray that you all receive grace. Don't let the devil tell you that this is something that is not doable, because it is very, very doable. I pray that you receive grace. And if you do skip days, something happens, do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. This is between you and God, but try as much as possible to keep up. So I encourage those who are still thinking and stalling, should I join, should I not do it and all that, I would say that you should. Trust me, you should. And even if you are just reading, remember, this is not, and I will say clearly so you understand, this is not a Bible study. I do not expect you to sit with it and you're trying to memorize. I do not expect you, for example, now to sit with the genealogy in the beginning of Adam and start to memorize this one began. No, you are reading this the same way you would read a novel. So you are reading it the same way you would read a novel, and yes, it is there, it is registering. You do not, 3 chapters down the line you might have, but it is fine. It is not a Bible study. We are reading this like we are reading a novel, because the Bible is a complete book and you begin to see the relationship between a lot of things as you go back. That is what we are doing. This is not a Bible study. It is power reading. It is fast paced. It is, looking at it as a whole story. So please join, and do not be discouraged. Do not be overwhelmed. You absolutely can do it. And you'd also get encouragement from the smaller communities. You hear people share their insight, maybe things you miss, and you go like, wow. And you also things you get, questions you have, you can actually drop it there. I would encourage every single person to, do this, go on this journey, and end 2025 as the year you finish the Bible. Thank you very much. So my next video will be the insight for the day. Bye.